Good morning, students. I welcome you all to this online commerce class. Let us get into the lesson. Number 12, Employee Training Method. See the learning objectives, meaning and definition of training, purpose of training or need for training, steps in designing a training program, training methods, difference between on the job training and off the job training, benefits of training. You will be discussing about all these topics in detail in this lesson. See the introduction of the lesson, employee training method. So each and every organization needs the services of a well-trained person for performing the better activities in a systematic way. So after having selected the most suitable persons for the various suitable jobs in the organization by way of application of scientific techniques, the next task of management should arrange for their proper training. Some employees already have some knowledge regarding the jobs, while the others may be entirely new to the jobs, that is freshers. So both these types of employees need some different kinds of training to acquaint themselves with the jobs. Training is the act of increasing or enhancing the new skill of problem solving activity and technical knowledge of an employee. Training enables the employees to guide their behavior. Training refers to the teaching and learning activities carried on for the primary purpose of helping members of an organization. So for each and every organization, after the selection process is over, the next important step is to give a proper training, both for the skilled as well as for the unskilled, and both for those who are familiar with the jobs and also for the freshers. See the charts given there. The aim of giving the training, goal, education, instruction, learning, knowledge, workshop, mentor, skill, coach, teaching, ability, development, advising, and motivation. See the definition for this employee training method given by various authors. The first definition was given by Edwin B. Filippo. What he is saying about this training process. Training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skills of an employee for doing particular jobs. Next, Mathers and Jackson. So what he says is, training is a learning process whereby people learn skills, concepts, attitudes, and knowledge to aid in the achievement of goals. Next, given by Dale S. Bean, he says, Training is organized procedure by which people learn knowledge and skill for a definite purpose. Let us now see the purpose of training or need for training. So it can be explained under various heads. The first purpose is improved quality of work. So training helps to focus on specific area and develop employee skills. It enables employee to increase the quality of work carried out by them. Next purpose is enhance employee growth. Employees who undergo training becomes good at their job, well versed at their job. Imparting new skills helps in performance enhancement of the employees. Next, prevention of obsolescence. Training helps to learn more knowledge regarding the latest technologies and techniques. The employee gets updated with the latest technology and trend. The major purpose of giving training is to avoid obsolescence, that is becoming outdated. Next one, enlightening new recruits. New employee can learn the methods of working, techniques, reporting, related tools and equipment used in the job, the work culture of the company, etc. with the help of training. Next, improved safety measures. Employees gain awareness about the risk involved in job and safety measures to be adopted through a proper training program. This helps to improve safety in the workplace and to avoid accidents. Next, motivating employees. An employee needs continuous development to move along the career path as per the career planning. So this training motivates and instills organizational commitment. Next, higher productivity and profits. Efficient training improves higher productivity and more profits as the trained employee can apply more skills and techniques at work. It helps them to do work at faster rate and complete it with a higher perfection. Next one, cost reduction. Trained employees can utilize the resources in a very efficient manner. There is no possibility of wastages of resources and all facilities are used at an optimum level, that is maximum level. This will lead to cost reduction. Next, reduced supervision. Trained employees need minimum supervision as they are educated about various aspects of job in detail at the training program. Next, better adaptability. Employees are able to adapt themselves to new technologies and new methods of work which constantly undergoing changes. So for the purpose of all these only, we are giving the training for the employees. Let us now see the various steps in designing a training program. So this training is one of the planned activities to transfer or modify knowledge, skills and attitude. Every training program must address certain vital issues listed below. Look at the chart given, they have given the various steps. Whom to train, who is the trainee, who are the trainers, what method will be used for training, what should be the level of training, where to conduct the training program. Let us see the first step, whom to train. So training department has to determine the candidates for whom the training should be given. In other words, we can tell it should identify whether it is needed for operational level employees or supervisory level employees or for executive level. Next step is, who is the trainee? Who is going to train them? A person who is learning and practicing the skills of particular job is called trainee. Trainee should be selected on the basis of self-interest and recommendation by the supervisor or by the human resource department itself. Next, who are the trainers? Trainer is a person who teaches skills to employee and prepare them for a job activity. The trainers may be either supervisors, co-workers, HR staffs, specialists in the other parts of the company, outside consultants, industry association, faculty members of educational institutions like university, etc. The trainers is otherwise called as instructor, coach, teacher, mentor, advisor, counselor, guide, guru, manager, handler, tutor and educator, etc. Next step is, what method will be used for training? Training segment should decide the appropriate method of training among the various methods of training available. They have to select what method they are going to follow to train the candidates. Next one, what should be the level of training? Training department should decide the level of training to be imparted to the employees. Usually, introductory training is given to a new recruit to sensitize item to various aspects of the work. Middle level employees are given skill development training, while higher level training is given for enhancing the functional efficiency of executives. So it depends based on the level of employees. Last one, where to conduct the training program. The venue of training and duration of training should be fixed based on the availability of other related factors. Training methods followed in each and every organization. So various methods of training are used to train the employees. There are two principal methods of employee training which are used by the organization. They are on the job training and off the job training. So what all will come under the on the job training? Coaching, mentoring, job rotation, job instruction technique, apprenticeship, committee assignment. Off the job training includes lectures, group discussion method and the case study method, role play method, seminar method, conference method, field trip method, vestibule training, programmed instruction, e-learning, demonstration, etc. Let us see one by one in detail. So we know that there are two methods of giving training. One is on the job training and the other one is off the job training. Let us see what I mean by on the job training. On the job training refers to the training which is given to the employee at the workplace. That is, the place where he is working itself, the training will be given by his immediate supervisor. In other words, the employee learns the job in the actual work environment. So what principle is followed here is learning by doing and learning while earning. learning by doing, that is learning while you are working and learning while you are earning. This is a principle followed in the on-the-job training. Let us see one by one method. So first method in the on-the-job training is coaching method. In the coaching method of training, the superior teaches or guides the new employee about the knowledge and skills relevant to the given job. See here, who is the coacher? The superiors. In this method, superior plays the role of coach or guide and an instructor. Under this method, the superior should point out mistakes committed by the new worker. The trainees can clear all their doubts then and there from their superiors. Next method is mentoring method. Mentoring. It is a process of sharing knowledge and experience of an employee. The focus in this training is on the development of attitude of trainees. Mentoring is always done by senior person. It is also one-to-one interaction. So this type of training will be given by the senior persons. It is one-to-one interaction like coaching. Besides, the mentor is responsible for providing necessary support to trainees and feedback on the performance of training. Next method is job rotation method. Job rotation is an important method for broadening the knowledge of executive. So under this method, a trainee is periodically shifted from one work to another work and from one department to another department or from one division to another division for a particular period of time. The main aim of job rotation is to expose the employee to various interrelated jobs. That is, the employees will keep on shifting from one department to another department to know the types of job present in each and every department, so that he will be well versed with all the job. Next is job instruction technique method. In this method, a trainer at the supervisory level gives some instructions to an employee to how to perform his job and its purpose. Next one, apprenticeship training method. The apprentice or trainee learns the job knowledge and skills from the trainer or superior or senior worker. Generally, the apprenticeship training is given to the technical cadre like that mechanics, electricians, craftsmen, welders, fitter, etc. The duration of this training program ranges from 1 to 5 years. The trainee gets the stipend during the training period. Next method, committee assignment. When employees are assigned to committee to address a particular issue, they are able to work closely with other members and committee leader. They gain more knowledge by observing and participating in decision making process. Next method, understudy or internship training method. So who will be training here? What will happen here? A superior gives training to a subordinates or understudy like an assistant to a manager or director. The subordinates learn through experience and observation by participating in handling day-to-day problems. Basic purpose of internship training is to prepare subordinate for assuming the full responsibilities and the duties. So we have seen all the methods included in the on-the-job training. Now let us see the off-the-job training. Off-the-job training is the training method wherein the workers or employees learn the job role away from the actual workflow. Off-the-job training comprises of a place specifically allotted for the training purpose, which may be near the actual workplace, where the workers are required to learn the skills and get well equipped with the tools and techniques that are to be used at the actual workflow. That is going for a training not in the place where they are working, but from some other place, a place specially allotted for training. Let us see the various methods for off-the-job training. First method is lecture method. So under this method, trainees are educated about concepts, theories, principles, and application of knowledge in any particular area. Trainer may be generally called from colleges, universities, consultancies, institutions, manufacturing concern, union, etc. They impart training effectively by their oratorical skill, knowledge, and practical knowledge using audiovisual tools. Let us go to the next method, group discussion method. So listen, here group of people participate and discuss particular subject or one topic. Under this method, participants are divided into various groups. They were provided a particular issue for deliberation. Each group has to prepare solution after deep discussion with their group members. So problem will be given, people have to sit together and find a solution for the problem. The group leader has to present the solution to the audience, which will be discussed or deliberated by other groups. Moderator will give final solution after listening to divergent viewpoints, that is different viewpoints. This method is called as a group discussion method. Next method, case study method. So in this method, trainees are described a situation which stimulate their interest to find solution. They have to use their theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge to find solution to the problem presented. There is no single solution to the problem. It may vary depending upon viewpoints of the trainees. The purpose of case study method is to make trainee apply their knowledge. Role play method. In this method, trainees are explained the situation and assign roles. They have to act out the roles assigned to them without any rehearsal. So on the spot, a role will be given and the trainees have to act for that without any rehearsal. There are no pre-prepared dialogues also. They cannot prepare and come since they are new to the topic. They have to assume role and play the role without any preparation. For example, the role of customer and salesman, management and union leader, foreman and worker, etc. may be played in the training arrangements. Next method is seminar or conference method. So this method enables the trainees to listen to the lectures, talk, delivered on specific topics and provides opportunities to participate, to interact with the speaker and get their doubts clarified. Select participants may be allowed to present papers with the audiovisual aid as delegates. They share their rich experience at the seminar through their papers. Thus, participants can widen and deepen their knowledge by their participation at the conference. Example: doctors conference, salesman conference, etc. So this seminar method is one of the oldest method, but still it is a favorite training method. Next, field trip method. I hope you all know what I mean by a field trip. A field trip or field work or training in the field is a journey undertaken by a group of employees or trainees to a place away from their actual work site. That is, all the employees will be taken to a place, to a particular place, to a particular field away from their working place. Why they are taken there? In order to gain exposure and knowledge. There they are explained the process of work by supervisor or manager of the facility visited by the participants. There they are free to clarify their doubts from the organization experts. This method helps the trainees to strengthen their theoretical knowledge obtained in a classroom environment by a practical exposure. Next method, vestibule training method. So vestibule training is training of employees in an environment similar to actual work environment. So the environment will be same as it working place, but it will be artificially created for training purpose. This type of training is given to avoid any damage or loss to machinery in the actual place by trainees and to avoid disturbing the normal workflow in the actual workplace. Examples we can give as, it is given to, this type of training has been given to drivers, pilots and space scientists, etc. Next is e-learning method. E-learning is the use of technological process to access of a traditional classroom or office. E-learning is also being referred to as online learning or web-based training. So e-learning training courses can save lakhs and lakhs of rupees to an organization, as they no longer have to pay for overtime or costly seminar to improve employees' skill. Under this type of web-based training is anywhere and anytime information can pass over the internet. So the process of learning you students now is also an example for e-learning. Next one, demonstration training method. This method is a visual display of how something works or how to do something. Doing and showing, that is called as a demonstration. Demonstration involves showing by reason or proof, explaining or making clear by use of examples or experiments. As an example, trainer shows the trainees how to perform or how to do the task of the job. He will do and show and give the training. This type of training is nothing but called as a demonstration training method. See the last method, programmed instruction method. So under this method, the subject matter to be learned is presented in a series of units, that is unit by unit. These units are arranged from simple to complex level. So arrangements are made from simple and it keeps on to complex level. It consists of 3 parts: presenting facts, new knowledge, and question answers. Trainee has to read the unit, understand the concept, and take part in a self-evaluation exercise. The system provides feedback on the accuracy of response given by trainee. On the successful completion of each and every unit, he will go to subsequent level. As he finish one unit, he will be pushed on to the next unit. If he forget, they should go back to original information. If they do not forget the information, they are allowed to go to the next step for learning. So programmed instructions is made available in the printed form, that is books, table, interactive video and other formats. Besides, there are a number of other advanced methods of training of the employees which will be taught in your higher studies. Yes, we have seen the different methods involved in on-the-job training and off-the-job training. Now let us see the major differences between these two training methods. Look at the chart. Basis for comparison: on-the-job training, off-the-job training. Let us see the meaning first. Here the employer learns a job in the actual work environment. In the off-the-job, the training involves the training of employees outside the actual work location. That is, training is given in the work spot itself. Training is given out of the work spot. See the cost. It is cheapest. Here, since it requires expenses like separate training rooms, specialist resources like projectors, it is expensive. Location: at the workplace. Here it is away from the workplace. And what it is suitable for: generally imparted in case of manufacturing for production related jobs, that is unskilled labors. Here it is mostly imparted for managerial and non-production related jobs, that is skilled people. Approach: this is practical, it is theoretical. What is the principle here? Learning by performing. Here learning by acquiring knowledge. Carried out: it is carried out by the experienced employee. Here training is provided by the experts. It deals with, training is very relevant and practical, dealing with day-to-day requirement of job. It can more easily deal with group of workers at the same time. Work disturbance: the scope for distraction is more, as there may be noise and disturbance because of working machines, tools and gadgets, because the training is given in the work spot itself. But in this case, there is no distraction at all, because trainees are away from the actual working environment, sitting in a well comfortable air conditioned room. Method: coaching, job rotation, apprenticeship, mentoring, understudy, job instruction, committee assignment are some of the avenues of on-the-job training method. And here in off-the-job, role play, seminar, lectures, case studies, vestibule, field trip, programmed instruction, demonstration, e-learning are some of the off-the-job training methods. Next, what are the benefits of this training? So the benefit is for three persons: benefit to the organization, benefits to the employees, and benefits of customer. Benefits to the organization, let us see first. What are all the benefits to the organization? How the organization is benefited due to the training given to the employees? First, it improves the skill of employees and thereby enhances productivity and profitability of the entity. Next, it reduces wastage of materials and idle time. Exactly. Third, it exposes employees to latest trend. The employees will be aware of the new technology. Next, it minimizes the time for supervision. Next, it reduces the frequency of accidents at workplace and consequent compensation payment. Yes. Next, it reduces labor turnover of employee. Next, it improves union and management relation. Because of all these benefits, the organization is coming forward to give a proper training to the employees. Next, benefits to the employees. How the employees being benefited? It aids to the knowledge, skill and competency of employee. Yes, it adds to the knowledge. Employees will be gaining extra knowledge and he will be having a ability to compete with other employee. It enables him to gain promotion or achieve career advancement in quick time, fastly, very easily he can go for a promotion. It improves the employee's productivity. Yes, his output level will be more. It enhances the morale of the employee. Exactly. Employees get higher earnings through incentives and rewards if he works perfectly. It builds up the confidence of employee by changing his attitude positively towards to work. Employee's attitude is very essential for successful running of any organization. It enables him to observe safety practices voluntarily during his engagement in dangerous operation. Yes, due to all these reasons, the employees are given a proper training by the organization. Next, benefits of customer. How the employees training is benefiting the customers? Customers get better quality of product or service naturally. Customers get innovative products or value added or feature rich products if the employee working in the organizations are given a proper training. Yes, we have come to the conclusion part. So this is a very interesting lesson. We had learned many new concepts, like what do you mean by training, what is the purpose of training or need for training, what are the various steps designed to train the persons, training methods and difference method in job training, on the job training and also the off the job training, and the differences between the on the job training and the off the job training, and who are the benefiters of training, that is organization, employee as well as the customer. I hope you have understood all these concepts very clearly. Thank you students. Meet you all in next chapter.